you're removing corn the wrong way and wasting every kernel. You've probably been removing corn the wrong way this whole time without even realizing it. Most people fumble around using their hands to pull off each kernel like this. It's slow, it crushes the kernels, and they end up flying all over the kitchen. Others try to use a knife to cut them off faster, but that still leaves a lot of the corn flesh behind. Such a waste. That's not the right way either. Today, Tracy is going to show you a few surprisingly fast ways to remove corn kernels. In just 1 minute, no knife, no effort, and the kernels come out perfectly even and whole. Sounds unbelievable, right? Just watch till the end of the video, and you'll see. And there's also a bonus. A super tasty corn recipe that everyone will love. Method 1. Using scissors to remove corn kernels. The first method to remove corn kernels quickly without a knife, without hurting your hands, and without crushing the kernels is by using scissors. I remembers once struggling to remove each corn kernel by hand when my grandmother saw me and showed me this clever scissor trick that's both convenient and time-saving. First, hold both ends of the corn cob and gently snap it in half. Once you break it, you'll see the soft white core inside. That's the key to this hack. Next, take a pair of scissors with pointed tips. Insert the tip straight into the center core, then gently twist the scissors left and right to create a crack from the inside. After a few twists, the core will begin to loosen. Once the core starts to detach, you'll notice the rows of corn kernels clearly arranged in neat lines. Now simply push along the groove with your finger, and the kernels will fall off in long strips. No crushing, no breaking, just plump, whole kernels. Did you know corn is a great source of carbohydrates, fiber, B vitamins, folate, magnesium, and antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin? It's great for your eyes and skin, which is why I always keeps corn in my kitchen. And just like that, you've got a plate full of perfect whole kernels without much effort. This method is especially useful when you need a lot of corn for dishes like sweet soup, chowder, or any recipe that calls for a large quantity. With just a few twists of a small pair of scissors and a couple of minutes, you can remove kernels from multiple cobs, much faster than the traditional way, and surprisingly neat, clean, and beautiful. Method 2. Using a flathead screwdriver. This next method may seem unfamiliar to many people. It involves using a flathead screwdriver to remove corn kernels. First, choose a flathead screwdriver that is clean and dry. Hold the corn cob firmly with one hand, and with the other hand, place the tip of the screwdriver at a row of kernels near the edge of the cob. Gently push the screwdriver along the length of the row, almost gliding, just above the core. You'll see an entire row of kernels pop out neatly, with little to no crushing or mess. After removing the first row, everything becomes much easier. The following rows will be more visible, and you simply insert the screwdriver between the rows and keep pushing gently. Thanks to the initial separation, the kernels will loosen quickly in long strips. You can also use your hands to pull the rest off as shown in the previous method. The advantage of this method is that it saves a lot of time and effort when cooking. No need for knives or special tools. Just a small screwdriver, and you can remove the kernels neatly, cleanly, and with surprising efficiency. 2. Corn kernel removal tricks that save time and preserve every sweet bite. These 2 corn kernel removal methods save you multiple times more time than the traditional way. No sore hands, no crushed kernels, no waste. Whether you're working with young corn or older ears, both methods work brilliantly. The kernels stay plump, whole, and sweet, as if they've just been snapped fresh off the cob. Definitely worth a try. Once you've removed a large batch of kernels and don't plan to use them all right away, don't worry. With this simple freezing trick, you can preserve the corn for months without losing its flavor. First, divide the kernels into small portions that match your usual meal sizes or recipe needs. Place each portion into zip-top freezer bags, Then press out as much air as possible. To remove excess air, so the corn doesn't become freezer burned or lose moisture, submerge the bag in a large bowl of water, keeping the opening above the surface. The water pressure will naturally force the air out. When most of the air is gone, quickly seal the bag shut. Using this method, corn can be stored in the freezer for 3 to 6 months while maintaining its fresh, juicy sweetness. When you're ready to use it, just thaw and lightly steam. The kernels will be tender and flavorful like freshly cooked. This little tip is especially handy if you want to enjoy corn year-round, particularly in the colder months when fresh corn isn't easy to find. It's convenient, budget-friendly, and eliminates waste. As promised at the beginning of the video, today, Tracy will show you how to make use of corn cobs and share a simple recipe for delicious corn milk. That means you can get the most out of a single ear of corn. Waste nothing at all. Let's get started. First, remove all the kernels from the cob, but don't throw the cob away. That cob is actually the secret to the corn's natural sweetness. After separating the kernels, rinse the cob thoroughly to remove any remaining dirt. Then, place the clean cobs into a pot with about 2 to 3 liters of water. 1 pinch of salt. Bring it to a boil, then simmer for 15 to 20 minutes to extract all the sweet corn flavor. Once done, remove the cobs. You now have a lightly fragrant corn broth you can drink right away. If you like a hint of sweetness, add a little honey once the liquid cools. Drinking this warm corn water helps aid digestion, cool the liver, and support gut health. In summer, refrigerate it for a refreshing, nourishing drink. Next, use the remaining broth to cook the corn kernels for about 5 more minutes, just to soften them. Let the mixture cool, then blend until completely smooth. Strain it well through a fine mesh to remove any pulp. Don't throw this pulp away. It can be used as animal feed or composted as organic fertilizer. For extra smooth milk, strain again if needed. Then return the liquid to a pot and add 500 milliliters of milk, 120 milliliters of sweetened condensed milk, and 150 grams of sugar. Adjust to taste. Stir well and cook over low heat for about 10 minutes until the milk becomes lightly thickened and aromatic. Let cool and store in clean bottles. The corn milk can be kept in the fridge for 2 to 3 days. It's delicious both warm and chilled, packed with nutrients, and gentle on the digestive system. Perfect for hot days. Homemade corn milk is rich in energy, easy to digest, and low in fat, especially if made with low-sugar milk. It's great for seniors, kids, and those recovering from illness. Best of all, no preservatives, no additives, just the natural sweetness and goodness of real corn. And that wraps up today's video. Corn and milk. Tracy just showed you how to remove corn kernels quickly and cleanly, with methods that keep the kernels whole and perfect for long-term storage. We also learned how to make refreshing corn cob tea and a creamy, homemade corn milk, all from just 1 ear of corn. It's budget-friendly, simple, and lets you enjoy the taste of summer all year round, whether it's winter or summer. Have you ever tried making corn milk at home? Or do you have a clever trick to get corn off the cob faster? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tracy would love to hear and share your ideas. Thanks so much for watching all the way through. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss more kitchen tips that make everyday cooking easier. See you in the next video.